let's not do that. That's unnecessary. What do I do?
3, 2, 1, bro.
What's up, everybody? My name is Nick Murphy. I'm one half of the Brothers Murph, and this is Metagame Minute. Metagame Minute is a twice-weekly segment where Mike or I talk about anything we want to talk about in gaming on that week. Boom. This week, I want to talk about house rules. House rules are something that a lot of people have in games, and what house rules are, if you don't know, is a rule that you have for that game. And what I mean by that is in the game, it says, oh, you draw 2 cards, and you go, no, we're going to draw 3. It's a rule that you essentially change or make up on your own to make the game, in your opinion, better or more enjoyable for you. I used to kind of be against house rules, not like fervently, like I hate them forever and never and never. More so just, I didn't really do them, and I was kind of like, well, if it's in the rule book, you should follow the rules, even if you don't like that rule. Too bad. And I haven't done a complete 180 where I'm just making up all sorts of rules all over the place, but we have implemented some house rules to some of our games. So the first house rule is for a game that we love very, very much called Viticulture. Viticulture is a game where you're running a vineyard and you are getting grapes and getting visitors, all this kind of stuff, and you're crushing those grapes into wine. You're selling those wines to Frank in Wichita. Now, the thing about Viticulture, if you haven't played it, is you're constantly drawing cards. And like most card drawing games, there is a little bit of luck in there. You could draw exactly what you need, or you can draw exactly what you don't need. And I think talking about luck in a game where you have to draw cards a lot is kind of a moot point, because if you're drawing cards, it always comes down to luck. It just does. There are ways to mitigate that and all this kind of stuff, and a lot of games do that very, very well. But ultimately, if you're drawing cards, some of it comes down to luck. And I think that's fine. But a lot of people constantly complain about Viticulture and the card drawing. And you know what? In a way, they're kind of right. A lot of people complain about the summer and the winter visitor cards. These cards are visitors that are coming to your vineyard, and they a lot of times can do certain cool things, or they can give you points. Some of them can give you a lot of points. And a lot of people complain about the visitor cards, saying that if you just luck into these cards, you can just win the game. And I don't think the visitor cards is nearly that big a problem. But something that is an issue is these green cards. These green cards are vine cards. These are the cards that give you grapes. They either give you red grapes or they give you white grapes. Those are the cards where you can get really hosed, in my opinion, because you're just drawing cards. So if you draw white grapes after white grapes after white grapes after white grapes, and then the wine order cards you have all call for red wines, there's literally nothing you can do to make those white grapes into red grapes. You have to wait until you draw a red vine card. And there's not many ways to get around that. And there are some times where I've been 3/4 of the way into a game and I'm still drawing green vine cards trying to get the grapes that I need. So our house rule is, and we stole this from Mr. Matthew Jude, is that you always draw one more card than you're told to. So if you're told to draw a green vine card, you draw 2 and then you discard 1. If you're supposed to draw 2 summer visitors, you draw 3 summer visitors and then you discard 1. And this just opens up the game. It makes it so you have more choices. Sure, you can still luck into the cards you need, but this way you have more chances of drawing the cards you need to build your engine. It's not so much that you're drawing them to luck into the points, it's just that you're drawing it to make your engine more efficient and get rid of a little bit of that luck factor to the game. In the end, you end up with the same amount of cards, so it doesn't make much of a difference, but it really, really alleviates that, I can't get what I need part of the game that honestly is there. Despite the fact that it's one of my favorite games in the whole world, there is that part, and it can be very frustrating sometimes, and this, for the most part, completely alleviates that. So that is our house rule for Viticulture. Our next house rule is for a new game we have called Everdell by Starling Games. Everdell is a worker placement tableau engine building type game with all these cool woodland creatures. It's a very, very pretty game. And we have implemented a house rule from one of our followers named Sakura, and she told us about this one, and I think it's brilliant. In the game, there are husband cards and wife cards. They're these cute little mice, and they go together, boo, boo, boo. But they both go together. Both cards say, if the husband is paired with the wife, you get this extra bonus. If the wife is paired with the husband, you get this extra bonus. And that's cool. I like that. I like the fact that you can pair things together and get extra stuff. That's always really, really cool. But the house rule that we were told and that we implement now is that you can pair a wife with a wife, and you can pair a husband with a husband if you want to. We have this house rule, 1, because it doesn't change the game in any kind of real significant way, and 2, because equality. That's very, very important to us. If you've seen any of our videos, that matters a lot to us. And since it doesn't really change the game, why not have that house rule? Why not be able to put a wife with a wife or a husband with a husband? That's totally fine, and it doesn't change the game, so why not implement that as well? So that's a little house rule we have. It's not quite as big as our Viticulture one, but at least for us, it does change things a lot. It makes the game more enjoyable. It makes the game more fun. So I want to know from you, what are house rules that you implement? Do you have a lot of house rules? Do you have none? Are you by the book? Boom, 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 boom. Let me know down in the comments. I want to know all the house rules you have, and frankly, I might steal some of them. So until next time, if you are by the book, only the rules written down in ink, or if you're just all sorts of crazy doing, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Remember, the more meta, the more better.
Be honest. Do you think you're quick enough and possess the dexterity to snatch a bird out of the air mid-flight? These are the things I wonder about. While you're thinking about that, check out Restoration Games. They sponsor us, and we have information for where to find them and their great games in the description below. That's probably quick enough. Click over here, by the way.